Okay. Oh, it's the guy. It's Mr. Burn Your Face Off guy. Okay. Just one little intestine. How durable are these people? And like, how many organs could they lose?
With his inside spilling out, he remained standing.
What's the deal?
The Iwagakure chief really seemed unkillable.
What's the deal with that?
Apparently it was because of some strange medicine he'd gotten overseas.
Oh, the elixir of life. Okay.
Are you surprised?
So it's only the chieftain?
Didn't believe it really existed.
Only the chieftain has gotten
It's
the
real.
elixir of life,
The
not this
elixir
guy?
of life. The Tokijiko no Kagunomi.
So I
Now,
thought
whether
this
or
guy
not it's
got it
here
as
is
well.
a different story.
Let's see. Seems
What is this?
pretty enough. I mean, I guess the running theme
so
of this show is that like the pretty things
If
are
the elixir is
actually
real,
bad,
This seems like
and
the kind of
the
place it would be
ugly
found.
normal
It's
things
gorgeous.
are like respectable and good.
By gorgeous, you mean creepy, I assume. There's no rhyme or reason to the kind of plant life that exists here. It's just not natural. Which
It's
means
magic.
who knows what we'll find.
It's all a big
Be
trap.
careful.
You're forbidden to unbind yourself.
Hi, little baby. What's up,
you
dude?
can't expect me to stay tied up.
I'm acting on the
It's little
Shogun's will.
baby, everyone.
My job is to keep an eye on a vicious
Oh,
criminal.
she doesn't like being
If
picked
you
up,
attempt
but
to
here, it's little
disobey in
baby.
any manner, then I
It's
can't
little
overlook
baby.
it. Now bind your hands.
Can't you let it slide?
I'm gonna
Just this one
put
time?
you by the window,
Man,
bud.
Everything about this trip is stupid. They only gave us rations for 3 days, and our one clue is this drawing.
It's
Kinda makes me
stupid.
think they don't actually care whether we find the thing or not.
Yeah, you're gonna die
I
regardless.
said bind your hands. You seem to be confused about something. I'm an executioner tasked with following you, not your ally. If you fail to
Little
locate
baby,
the
I
elixir
love
of life
you.
and don't receive a
You're
pardon from the
cute.
shogunate, then it doesn't change things for me in the slightest. So tie your hands together,
Little
or I
baby,
will decapitate you.
go away, please. You can't be touching that.
Fine, whatever. If it means that much to you. All that I want to do is see my wife again. I'll
Okay,
try to go along
I'm
with
gonna
the
see what's
condition.
up. Either she wants fresh water or her food needs to be topped off. We'll just see. Holy fuck! Hey, what's up? We're back. It turns out that my cat just wanted attention. Imagine that. Imagine that, a cat wanting attention while you're recording.
What is this?
Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of.
It's so fantastical.
Fantastical.
If the elixir is real, this seems like the kind of place it would be found. It's gorgeous.
This is cool. It seems like the motif
By
of
gorgeous,
this.
you mean creepy, I assume. There's no rhyme or reason to the kind of plant life that exists here. It's just not natural.
Yeah.
Which means who knows what we'll find. Be
It
careful.
seems
You're forbidden
like
to unbind
the
yourself.
motif of this
you can't
series
expect me to stay
is.
tied
Hold
up.
on, let me just pause it. So far, it seems like what it's trying to convey is that superficial things that are just like pretty for pretty's sake, they're usually too good to be true, and you should be wary of things that are trying to like present themselves as beautiful. And then the things that are like actually beautiful are real, genuine human connections and like the actual day-to-day toiling of life, you know? Just like what's actually beautiful is the brutality of life and how real and genuine it is. But like what's ugly and reprehensible is the stuff that is just pretty in order to take advantage of you. Like a flower having an alluring scent in order to like draw an insect in to feast upon it or something. Or like how that that companion, like the cannibal cabaret woman, what was her name? The cannibal girl. Like it seems like she was some sort of like escort that eats her folks, like the people that she escorts. What's the name that I'm thinking of? The cannibal courtesan. Yes, the courtesan. I was blanking on that word. The cannibal courtesan. It's like beautiful, attracting, like a siren, you know? Yeah, it's giving the Odyssey a little bit. But yeah. Okay, back to it. Had to respond to a photography client real quick, but yeah, let's get back into this. Pretty things are bad, ugly things are good.
I'm acting on the Shogun's will. My job is to keep an eye on a vicious criminal. If you attempt to disobey in any manner, then I can't overlook it. Now bind your hands.
Can't you let it slide? Just this one time? Man, everything about this trip is stupid. They only gave us rations for 3 days, and our one clue is this drawing. Kinda makes me think they don't actually care whether we find the thing or not.
I said, bind your hands. You seem to be confused about something. I'm an executioner tasked with following you, not your ally. If you fail to locate the elixir of life and don't receive a pardon from the shogunate, then it doesn't change things for me in the slightest. So tie your hands together, or I will decapitate you.
Fine, whatever. If it means that much to you. All that I want to do is see my wife again. I'll try to go along with your conditions. But let's keep it reasonable.
Yo. Did he dodge or not? Can't really tell.
Well, that was easy. Already got my first kill.
Oh, I guess
Poor
he
little
didn't.
idiot. That's why he shouldn't have let his guard down in a place like this. He deserved.
Wow. You surprised me.
That didn't kill you?
I'm fine. Just dislocated my neck. Anyway, look at him.
Right. That's Twisted Kayun, one of the 10 criminals.
He's Bear Boy.
He's a warrior monk who became obsessed with weapons during his training. They say he's stolen over 100 of them from other warriors.
No, that's not what I meant. I was just saying his hands aren't tied.
That's no matter. Well, no, it does matter. Why is that, Kisho Dono? Explain!
I see you're still as rigid as ever. Not to worry, we can retie them on the return trip. I can't be bothered to argue with this lowlife about such things.
Did you hear that?
Honest to a fault, which is why you're ranked the lowest.
She's a
You
stickler.
may not know this, but all of the Asaemon are ranked. As for Sagiri here...
There's no need to get into a discussion about that right now.
Hey! Look, Gabimaru the Hollow. Don't you dare ignore me.
Using his
Seems
full
you're as bold
name.
as the rumors say.
That's how you know
I'm
he's in
glad to
trouble.
see it. Maybe you can help me out with something. I've been dying to test out my arsenal. You
I like
see,
Yellow Eyes, but
weapons
I'm
only
not a big
shine
fan of
after
his
they
Yellow
touch
Eyes.
Aren't they
And I don't
beautiful?
like how he
And you get
licks
to
all of
experience them
those.
firsthand.
Listen,
I hope he
Weirdo,
dries them off
can
properly
stand like your
before
swords if you
storing
want.
them,
but I can't let the others get ahead.
or else they'll get all
This
rusty.
is the best strategy. We've no idea where the elixir of life is. So I think it's smarter to kill off all the other criminals first. Then I can take my sweet
So
time
literally
searching for the
only
elixir.
one of the criminals
you'll be
is
the
gonna get
first to
pardoned
go.
here.
Oh,
The only one that gets the elixir of life
We're
is
only
going
here
to
to
be
supervise
pardoned.
you. You're welcome to slaughter each other.
Be my guest.
But I'd rather not go through the hassle. Plus, my wife would be sad if I killed somebody.
Your wife would be sad if you killed someone? Are you fucking joking, dude? He used to come home covered in
Tie
blood,
your hands.
You're kidding.
and she would like smile. He's going through all of his weapons before he's even finished tying his hands.
convenient. You'll be the perfect target to test my weapons on.
Sorry, no time.
It's crazy that he hasn't realized how fucked he is by now.
He launched his full body weight using just that pole. How?
Reflection! Uchiha reflection!
My hands weren't tied together.
In a
Oh
single
shit, is
blow?
that guy dead? Alright, well, rip bear guy. Oh, I guess not.
That armor is sewn directly into his skin. What an outlandish thing to do.
Yeah, it seems pretty outlandish.
Best you got. Get sick.
I thought he was impaled. I guess it just barely cracked his armor. Oh, okay.
Talk about a total waste of time.
Well, I actually
go look
didn't
for that
waste any
elixir.
time because I didn't have to see that fight at all.
And my hands are still tied, by the way.
Oh, right. Good.
So they still behead them
Well,
even
then,
after
I
they're
suppose I
dead?
should head back now.
You don't want to fight me first?
As I told you, we are neither your friends nor your enemies. If our assigned criminal dies, then we simply bring back his head. Now, time to go home to my bath.
Well, that must be pretty convenient
60
for him.
people have gone missing on this island. Be careful during your journey back.
Perhaps you should worry about yourself instead. I'm
This
the lucky
guy's
one for getting
definitely
out
gonna
this
be a
quickly.
flower.
The man standing next to you is a deadly criminal. Don't be so foolish as to think you're safe just because his hands are tied. I've already seen so much, even as we were approaching the shore.
The amount of eye rolling
Some
that I'm
tried to narrow the
doing.
field before we landed. Others made alliances, or at least pretended to. These are people who didn't follow the rules before.
This is the type of show that will
So,
just
why would they fall
explain
into line
everything
now?
over and over. Which is probably good for some people. Is she gonna eat that motherfucker?
They'll survive by any means necessary, just as they've always done.
Bruh.
But if they break the rules, they won't be awarded the pardon.
That's why I
courtesan.
called you rigid. Samurai live by the shogun's word first, but what truly
She's
matters
gonna eat
most
that
are a person's
motherfucker.
priorities. Find the elixir. Everything else comes after that. The shogunate wants us to achieve our objective. Don't you think they'd rather we break a few rules than obey them and fail?
They
Plus,
play a
rules are
little
illusions.
fast and
They
loose
don't
with it.
function unless you can depend on everyone to follow them.
Nothing is true.
For some
Everything is
people, they don't mean
forbidden.
anything at all. Just look at this man. Would you like me to take care of him for you?
We're pretty short on time as it is, you know. So let's get past the stupid jokes. All I want to do is get back to my wife. The rest of it doesn't matter.
He can catch people
Let's
by
get going.
surprise too.
You're right.
Try not to become a
You are
flower,
short on
bucko.
time. Here's my prediction. In a few hours,
He said he
we'll
just
see
needed
another
the head,
major
but that
change.
guy's whole fucking bare body was back on the boat. Oh shit, it wasn't the bear! Oh my god!
Rokurota, you must be hungry.
It's just a different guy. Well, that makes me kind of happy, because I didn't want the bear boy to die just yet. Oh shit. Is her father dead? Just straight up? Oh, lordy,
Soon,
lordy.
there will be a twist that no one could have seen coming. More than half the criminals will die, and the others will die moments later.
What the fuck?
In less than a day, there will be only one left. Don't forget, you're expendable. If we lose too many, they'll send more.
They what?
Hattori's messenger's been sent off to Ishu.
Why would
The
they
Shogunate's
waste
made
all that
contact
time
with the new
introducing these
Iwagakure,
characters just to
I'm
kill them
sure.
off immediately?
The Asaimon aren't a monolith either, you know. Rumor has it, this job will determine our next leader. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's enough to light a fire under some of our cohorts.
Well,
Not
that's
that I'm
perfect,
interested.
because I think their
Farewell.
leader just
Don't let the
died.
prisoners catch you off guard. You've been warned.
Assuming her father was the leader.
He's right. Even though we've traveled together for days now, I still don't understand this man's true character. But,
For days.
alright, which way
Yeah, I
should
don't
we...
think you can deduce someone's true character in a matter of days.
you do that?
I wanted to kill you quickly and painlessly, but you stopped me.
I knew it. I can see his true nature.
Okay, so he's like bipolar, I guess.
So the moment they had a child, they asked permission to leave the village? These two were such pathetic excuses for Jonine. I shall raise this young man to be better than that.
Understood.
Take a close look at them, Gabimaru. These worms are the picture of weakness. All emotions make a person weak, even love between a parent and child. Unless you're strong,
Just
you'll never be
monologuing
able to
at a
protect
baby.
anything, let alone the people you care for most.
So that's just a little peek into his psyche. He's like, fuck this broad, I'm gonna kill her, and then I'll kill everyone else on the island, and then I'll just row back
If you
myself.
kill your monitor, then you've broken the rules.
It's all about priorities. That's what your buddy said. If the Iwagakure make it to the island, everything goes up in smoke. Which means I have to find the elixir of life before that happens.
Does he come from
It's
that
nothing
clan?
personal. You're just a hindrance.
Killing me? That's your plan?
Sometimes you don't have any other option. Sorry, but you have to die.
He's more of a threat than I thought. His warped sense of morality makes him ruthless. I should cut him down at once.
But will you have any
For
doubts?
some reason, I can't. I keep hesitating.
Again. I should have been able to kill her just now.
They're both holding back because they're actually
Why am I holding
frenemies.
myself back? Why?
If you want my opinion, I think not wanting to kill anybody else is a perfectly normal way to feel.
That's absurd and completely hollow inside. I don't feel anything now.
You say that, but I just saw you turn bright red over a simple little kiss. If you feel something, then don't run from it. You know, you're not the same person you used to be. Having courage means being honest with yourself and facing your emotions. As long as you're that kind of person, I'll happily follow you anywhere, even if it means we end up leaving the village.
After meeting my wife, I experienced a lot of emotions. But one of them was hatred.
That wasn't the target we came here for.
He said he was going to take revenge on my wife and my family.
Wait, just let me live. I've got a wife and child. Please, I can't die.
I felt weakness too. And now, there's that weakness again.
So that's
Forget
kind of
about our
why
pardon.
he
I won't
was
even
putting on the
survive if I don't
front
get
of
past
hating
this.
his wife before, because it
He's a
makes
violent
him
criminal condemned
hesitate
to death. And yet, even though he's trying to kill me,
taking a life.
The heart is just a nuisance that gets in the way.
Unless you're strong, you'll never be able to protect anything.
So it seems like people's swords are just like embodiments of their will.
It's pointless to keep resisting. Surely you're skilled enough to know.
Is she using her
You
scabbard?
can't beat me like this.
Wow.
I don't care about all the other ones, but I already know that killing you is going to hurt me. So can you just die quietly?
killing me will hurt you? I thought you didn't have emotions anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I feel nothing. I am
That's a
Gabimaru.
cool animation style.
I've killed so many people, it's boring now. So what's one more kill going to do? It's all the same to me. That's the way I
Oh
was
shit,
raised.
is that a monster gonna fuck him up?
If you're weak, you can't protect anything.
Oh no, it's just his demon, I guess.
There's no doubt. This man
His
is
mentor.
dangerous.
Feelings are useless. Now die.
Even so.
Aww. His little angel and devil behind him.
What's wrong?
That's cool.
Why am I hesitating? I'm not supposed to have any emotions.
That's right. Since we met, every moment, when I look at him, his expression's the same.
Bipolar
Like he's
shorty.
trying his best to endure something. He's not a hollow shell with no feelings. That's just a lie he was taught as a child. He's a human being with emotions. And the time that I've spent watching him so far
He's just a little guy.
has allowed me to face my own as well.
Come on. Have I really become this weak? At this rate, I'll never survive. I won't see my wife again. Not ever.
That's not weakness. You're growing strong. It isn't that you feel nothing. You're simply averting your gaze rather than running from your emotions. I believe that's a sign of strength.
Having courage means facing your emotions.
Please let me say that, at least. After all, you were the one who taught me to do that for myself.
Is this really the time to say that?
Well, your hands still aren't moving. Normally, I'd execute immediately, but I'll overlook it this time. If you regret the things you've done, face your feelings, and make the decision to reclaim your life for good, then I would like to be there to see it. If a man like you can change his life, then I want you to prove that to me. Let me see what you're truly capable of. I need to face my own emotions head-on as well, so that I can become as strong as possible. The nature of our relationship hasn't changed at all. But somehow,
I need to conquer my
Hollow.
emotions so that way I can become the strongest
you're no
shonen
longer the same
protagonist.
person you used to be.
Are we gonna find out that his wife is actually like dead?
What the hell are these?
Maybe just a wild prediction.
It seems unlikely, but they look like man-made objects.
Oh shit. Did that thing just like suck its blood? Oh my god. Oh, yep. Yeah.
What did you do that for? I don't understand.
Look at it. An insect with a human face? That thing clearly isn't from our world.
Yo.
What? How?
Don't get distracted.
That shit. Oh my god. So all of the little animals and stuff, they're actually people that have died there?
The other side?
I don't know. How is it possible for these things to exist?
Finally, this trip is getting interesting.
Oh wow. He's stoked about that? The baby arms out of the eyes go fucking crazy.
Very interesting.
This is pretty curious,
I
dude.
don't understand. How
Okay, I
can
like
that
this
be real?
creature design.
Stay back.
Time to go to work. Alright, mutant creature islands. Human animal hybrids, let's go. We're gonna learn to confront our emotions while we kill this fish guy with 6 arms.
Right. First, we'll talk about episode 3, which is kind of like the segue into Shinsengyo, kind of as it is. And the episode's called Weakness and Strength. So just from the top, it's Gabimaru believes that the elixir of immortality, Tokijiku no Kaganomi, I think is what it says, does exist after seeing the chief of Iwagakure survive a series of fatal injuries, like we mentioned before. As he and Sagiri arrive in the shore of their destination, he tells her that the elixir may not come from this place. Suddenly, they come under attack from the condemned criminal Twisted Keiun, a weapons expert accompanied by the Yamada Asamon Kisho. So, this is kind of the inciting battle, basically. They basically land, and they are already accosted, like, pretty immediately by this guy. And in the previous episode, they show him, but he's not, like, all gillied up or whatever, so you don't see, like, his whole gear. When you see him, he's like kind of fearsome. You like see him in the background in episode 2, but in episode 3, you're like, oh my god, who is this? And they kind of flash back and go, oh, it's this guy. Like, oh, word, okay, this guy's like loaded. He's got like every kind of weapon and sword. And they basically say like, yeah, he's like, he takes weapons from pretty much everyone he kills. So he's got this like entire like, I don't know, John Wick closet of Lugers or whatever, right? Yeah, just what did you think of like the beginning of them touching down on Shinsengyo, Naruto?
Yeah, they kind of just roll into it real quick. It's just like, bam, we're here, and then like, bam, we're in a conflict. So I kind of like that. They have this couple of episodes of like, you know, getting you suited to the, you know, world building and, you know, the story and the characters. Yeah. And then episode 3 is like, all right, it's time to actually like start this show up. So we're just gonna get you straight into the nice shonen action. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of this design for this antagonist, because I love the warrior monk motif. I've always been a huge fan of that sort of motif, so I really like it.
Yeah, he's super cool looking. It's kind of like a really, it's when it starts like he's talking to Sagiri, Gabimaru is, and then he gets just pummeled by this like, it's not a batting ram. What is it? It's like a not a mace. It's like a wrecking ball. Yeah, like a chain chomp. It's like a wrecking ball. Whiz, what'd you think of like the immediacy of that?
Well, I thought it was pretty rad that the whole discussion was about the rules. Like this, our main character doesn't want his hands bound, and while they are discussing this, he gets completely whacked from an off-screen character who's in the exact same position, but their parole officer is letting them just chill with their hands unbound.
Right.
So that kind of reminded me a bit of like the Soul Society and Bleach, on how like there is a by-the-book way to do things, and that might be like good and established for good, and maybe at one time it was for the greater good, but people just like the police in general, they will abuse their power, and they will be like, oh, we can let this slide, or oh, whatever, who cares, we're on the Hunger Games Death Island, like who cares if their hands are bound, I'll just tie them whenever we leave.
Yeah, and they do say that too. It's just like, what was this guy say? Like, I forget what the name of the monitor is for Keiun, but he's basically like, Sagiri, you're like pretty legalistic here.
Kisho's the name of the monitor.
Okay, so Kisho, yeah. He's like, you're pretty legalistic here. Like, we can just tie them up when we leave. You know what I mean?
He specifically says that's why you're at the bottom. Like, he's not even sexist. He's not even saying, hey, you're a woman, and that's why you're at the bottom.
Yeah.
He's saying, no, you just will never bend the rules, and that's why everyone hates you, and you're a dork, basically.
Yeah, I think he's kind of calling her an idiot, yeah. Essentially. Yeah. He's like, why don't you just, like, why don't you just let your guy go do his thing? Like, come on, it's that simple. Just have him go get your elixir and get off this island. Like, it's ABC 1, 2, 3. No, and I do love how Gabimaru is like, look at him! He has his hands untied! I want my hands untied!
Yeah, and like...
What's great, though, is that she makes him win the fight with his hands tied.
Yeah,
like,
what I was just gonna say. Yeah, she basically is like, you need to tie yourself up again. He's like, seriously? And she's like, yeah. And then he still succeeds. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like some characters would probably feel like they might get red in the face and like feel embarrassed. It's like, oh, everyone hates me. Oh no, I'm the only one that's doing this way, and everyone hates me and thinks that I'm worthless. But she's like, no, actually, fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's doing it right up in
Yeah.
here. So it's like, okay, that's
you gotta respect it. You gotta respect that she's like, I'm gonna stay true to this thing that I want to happen.
She doesn't have any self-doubt about that. Like, she doesn't have any doubt of what she wants to do. She only has the self-doubt about her own ability to do what she wants to do. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Totally. And I think it's this, okay, this might be, and this is kind of talking about the fight that's not really a fight. Like, it's the initial stages of one, and then they just kind of cut, and Kayun is dead, and Gabimaru has killed him with like all of his weapons. He stabbed him with pretty much everything he's got. It like basically like he leaps in the air, Kayun does, and he like throws damn near everything he has at him. And Gabimaru basically hits a pole at him, sticks him in the ground, and when they're really about to fight, it's over. You know, I wonder if that's like a budget restriction. What do you think about that, Noah?
I think that I think it's more so to signify that like Gabimaru is just like a cut above this guy. Like he's like way too like high level to even have to like deal with this guy. Like he's like, they show the cool thing with like he's got like the armor sewed into him and he pierces. He's like breaks that armor up quite a bit, and he's like, oh, that's a neat trick, whatever. And then once he gets him on the ground, he's just. I like that. I like that thematically, like, just cutting to... I don't think it was a budget thing. I honestly do think that that's just, like, how the author intended that fight to go is, like... I'm sure if, like... I haven't read the manga, but I'm sure, like, if you read the original manga, it would be something similar to that, to where they just cut to the guy defeated. Because that's to show, like, Gabimaru is just that guy. He's simply that guy.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because, like, as soon as that happens, Kisho basically just takes his head and goes like, "Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna go take a bath." You know?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. He's
out.
like, "I'm here for the one thing," you know. But yeah, any kind of like other thoughts about just the fight in general or the lack thereof, Whiz?
I was pretty surprised that it just cuts to the guy as a pincushion. I was a little bit surprised there.
That's kind of what I'm saying, yeah.
I did assume, I was like, okay, well, now I guess we'll just get on to whatever. I did assume it was kind of like a budgetary thing. But, like, you know what? Not everything needs to be a drawn-out fight.
Yeah,
Not everything needs to. And you could, it's fine. I kind of made a little joke when I was watching it. I was like, oh, he just used Uchiha Reflection and reflected every one of those weapons directly back, so we really didn't miss anything. But yeah, I mean, would I have loved to see the guy get stabbed 37 times? Yeah.
It really does, too.
but
completely
it's
pincushion.
The shock of it was also fun, just the like, oh shit, like the show has done that a few times in like the opening episodes where it's like, oh this show is starting with a beheading, oh all right, holy shit, or like he just ripped that guy's throat out and it has been 1 second and then this guy's a pincushion. Like there are shots that are like, oh, this is the shock value shot, and it is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's another thing for me too, is where are they showing restraint and where are they cutting loose? And it's interesting to see like the direction they take in a given scene. Like with Gabimaru going complete berserk. And then this where you think it's going to be a full-on fight and it's just not. I really like the restraint they have, at least in both ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's after that, Kisho basically just like leaves. He's gonna go take a bath.
Bye.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And then like Gabimaru attacks Sagiri with the sword, right? This whole like dynamic really gets interesting because she's kind of like wrestling with him as a character, going like, is he a good person? Is he a bad person? Like, what is he here for? Is he here for the right reason? Like she's wrestling with all this, and then he basically just like pulls a gun on her for lack of a better term, and she's like, oh wait, no, he's a bad guy. Like I need to defend myself here. What do you guys think of just that scene in general? Because it's a pretty good fight as it is. Because you don't get the fight with Kayun, but you do get this, and it's like the choreography is on top. The dialogue in the head is just razor sharp. You get to see how each feel kind of back and forth. I guess on a top level, Noah, what do you think of just that back and forth, that quick clash? What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely comes from left field. You're like, oh wait, oh he's oh what's going on? And then it's like, oh okay, he thinks that he's gonna be better off without her, so he's just gonna tidy up this mess. Essentially, he's like, yeah, that guy said that I can just like get the elixir and then go. I don't really need you, so like I'm gonna just not have you drag me down. I'm a ninja. I'm a little bit more agile than a samurai, so yeah, it's strange. Yeah,
he basically like he gets all the way up to fighting her, like damn near killing her, and he just can't bring himself to do anything about it, and she can't either, right? Whiz, what do you think of like that static? Because I think that's one of the more interesting parts of this show so far is, they definitely can kill each other. They just choose not to, be it for moral standing or whatever you want to say. I guess, what did you take from that scene?
Yeah, it's another one of those PEMDAS order of operations moments for him. Okay. Because he is just going to go along with this quest at first. But the thing that changes it for him is the exposition from the guy, the headhunter guy, where he says that reinforcements are going to come if they take too long.
That's right.
And that's where he's like, all right, I'm snapping into Heartless Killer mode. I need to kill everyone, and I need to make sure that these reinforcements don't get here to get the elixir of life. Yeah. Because if that happens, everyone's fucked.
Yeah, because it's the Iwagakure people that he is from. He's like, I know what these people are capable of. Like, they're going to carpet bomb this entire island if I don't get out of here in time, basically.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And then the whole thing where they are genuinely trying to kill each other, but their subconscious knows that they shouldn't. Like, their subconscious knows that it's not in line with their core beliefs, both of them. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They are trying to kill each other with like all of their might, but they keep just subconsciously either glinting off of each other's swords or whatnot. And it seems to be
back.
Yeah. It seems like in this show, swords are like a metaphor for your will in general, like your willpower.
I like that.
And like swords are glinting off of each other. Like that one guy's sword broke against his neck in the very beginning episode. Just like, and then her sword shatters because she doubts herself so much. And then at that point, he is like so sure of himself because he's gone into that Heartless Killer mode. He's kind of John Wicked himself in a way, just to be like, okay, snapping in and out of it, like snapping, like, okay, it's time to go to work.
Yeah,
let's do this.
He gets like this tunnel vision, like you see very specifically where his eyes narrow, and it's kind of like that long shot, the fisheye lens, where his eyes kind of go oval, and he's like, I'm locking in and no one's gonna get in my way. And I find that really interesting because when he is pulling back, he's still saying like, no, I am a hollow, like I am not what you think I am, this and that. And he's like, he's still not able to go through with it. And you see later in this I think it's the next episode where her sword breaks, and then another Asaemon like talks about it and goes like, well, that was kind of like your spirit or whatever, like you're not able to do what it takes, kind of. Like it's one of the most, I don't know, for at least this first batch of episodes, I think it might be my favorite altercation between the two main characters. I love this scene so much because they are just not able to do it, and they always are holding something back. You can see it written on their faces, even if they're saying something different. I love that in movies, shows, whatever, when people say something, but their eyes reflect a different thought. I love the subtlety of that. Noah, anything to say about that scene?
Yeah. It didn't really. I don't know. I didn't really read into it that much. I don't think I read into that scene as much as you had. I think that it goes back to his like inner battle between his training and what his like wife has sort of like taught him is like, no, this is actually common sense. Your training was not common sense. Your training was uncommon sense. You need to like, these are bad behaviors that were enforced into you, so you need to do better and try and live as a better person, you know. And he wants that.
Right. And she basically says, she's like, it's totally normal for you not want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it is, you are playing against type if you are, you know, leaning, you know, kind of into that. Like, if you want to be killing somebody, that is not human nature.
Yep.
It's definitely not. Right. I just, for some reason, I know you didn't think too much about it like I did. I love that scene. Just like the dynamics of their burgeoning relationship is really interesting.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the end of their part of the episode. It kind of cuts from here to kind of like the beginning of the kind of like the, I don't know what you want to call it, like the landing beach area where they go into Shinsekyou. It cuts to two different characters we haven't really met. We've seen kind of in the past, but we don't really know them that well. One is the monitor, which I don't remember the name of, but he's got like the kind of bowl cut. And then there's the
Fuji.
criminal Tamiya Gantetsu Sai.
Yeah.
It's when he gets stung by that butterfly I mentioned kind of at the beginning here.
Yeah.
That you kind of go like, okay, what's going on here? He cuts his hand off immediately, and you see it kind of shrivel and turn into like foliage immediately, to look like kind of the monitor's like surprise. I just, seeing how like a little thing like that can change so quickly makes me, it like adds to the mystique of their whole area. What do you guys think about that?
Just a little side note. How quickly tourniquets are applied in this
That's
show.
true. That's true.
Is me? Like, there's so many times where I don't know. I just thought that was like a fun thing. It's like, oh, he's tourniqueted. And they're like, yo, he's literally just, there's a tourniquet. I just thought that was
one-handed too. He just he cuts his hand off. He's like, it's there. Like, you're like, dang, bro.
Maybe he used some ninjutsu.
Maybe, yeah. Well, at this point, you don't know everybody's like power or whatever, and maybe he's just really proficient at wrapping his thumb up. You know.
Like, later on, you see the main character use his ribbon. Like, he could control his ribbon somehow. So maybe there's like a rope form of that. You can control your rope to tie a tourniquet on your wrist. I just thought that was fun.
Yeah. It's a very brief scene. It's kind of like perfunctory almost a little bit, aside from like just the dead bug that's got like the face of like a blobfish or whatever. You're like, what is this
It's got
thing?
like a little Buddha face on it.
Yeah,
it's interesting how everything is like an amalgamation of like a human and stuff. Like the butterflies, at first you see they're like, oh wow, look at the butterflies, and then like it zooms in on them and you're like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me.
It's not a butterfly, it's a Buddha fly.
A Buddha fly. Oh yeah.
And that's kind of how everything kind of like funnels towards, is once they see that thing, like basically nature wakes up and like all these like centipedes, fishmen, like weird kind of yokai monsters in the distance, huge towering like you know, like a Titans from Attack on Titans, like just show up out of nowhere, and they're just like, they're like in like praying gestures and in different like religious like I don't know, like Zen motifs and stuff. It's really crazy, and they show up immediately and they surround both Tamiya and Gabimaru's kind of parties, separate parties, and you kind of just go like, this is where they're leaving us. Like it's such a weird way to end it, especially when you see like that little threat, that little Buddha fly, and then everybody shows up. You're like, oh, okay, we're dealing with a lot more than I thought we were, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your guys' thoughts about, I guess, the design? Like, what did you think of like that entire like, oh shit, we're kind of like caught with our pants down here?
Like the designs of the monsters in general.
Just whatever you thought about them all showing up, I guess, and what they look like. What do you think about all that?
It was giving like Attack on Titan meets
Totally.
Elden Ring a little
Yeah.
bit, like with
Yeah.
the whole undeath. Like they're not dead, but they're not exactly alive. It kind of, I don't know. I was thinking like at this point, are they a hive mind? Is it like a fungus controlling them? Is it the island controlling them? I had so many questions. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was very intrigued.
Yeah.
And it just ends with them being surrounded, right?
Yeah, that is literally the end of the episode. And at this point I took a little break just to kind of like get this set up, and I really thought about that and the designs of all the characters, and it's the mix of religions that's interesting to me, because there are different hallmarks from Buddhism and what'd you say, Taoism?
Taoism.
Right, yeah, it's a mix of those things, and they remark upon that. I don't know if it was in these episodes or in the ones
They do it
past.
Several times throughout the show. They will remark on it. Characters will remark on it. So
Yeah.
those are like actual things in the like lore of the show. Like real world religions are part of the lore of this show. The show is like trying to root itself into like real world mythologies and bring those real world mythologies to life. It seems, and like real world, just like magic systems and things like that as well into this. Like,
Gotcha.
That sort of like Eastern mysticism. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and they remark at several points about the statues having like mixed imagery, where they're just like, yeah, this is from this ideology, but this is from this one. Yeah. You know, it's interesting to see, especially they talk about it in 7 specifically with that monitor character where he remarks upon it, right? And yeah, like you said, I like the influence of the religious stuff. I'm kind of interested to see how it kind of gestates and goes on from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna comment that I really like the introduction of Gantetsusai here, the Swordmaster. He, I just I like characters like that. So just like, you know, very I guess brash and like to the point sort of characters, like just loud and like larger than life characters like that I really enjoy. So just having that sort of like character, and then putting him alongside like the tiny little, you know, Asai Monfuchi, it's just like you know, it's a really fun dynamic, I think, those two.
The surgeon that's a little too into surgery. A little too happy.
I forgot about that.
I thought it was pretty
he's
funny,
like,
to be honest. But...
Well, he remarks on his tools, like Gentetsu-sai. He's like, you got like surgery tools on you or whatever. He's like, I like surgery. And then
yeah, the little like crooked smiling mouth.
Yeah, he's literally got the squiggly line face. He's like, this is my stuff. I love this.
Yeah.
He's Da Vinciing about. Also, I thought it was very silly that the Dragon Warrior's full backstory is that he got mad at someone and like slashed up a dragon ornament.
I love that.
And then he's just sentenced to death because of that. And he says, when I get out, I'm gonna slash up the guy's whole house.
Yeah!
Which you'd think
that's so awesome!
You would just get him back in the same situation, but he doesn't care.
It reminds me of Jean Valjean from like Les Mis. He steals like a loaf of bread. It's like the most innocuous thing of all time, but it's like, you're going to prison or you're dying for this. So funny. Yeah, he's a fun character. He kind of reminds me of like some Akira Kurosawa, like main samurai. He's like he's kind of jokey. He's very, very larger than life, like Noah said.
Yeah, I'm a huge
he's a really cool
fan
character
too. So I have quite a few VHSs of Kurosawa films. So
we should do Seven Samurai sometime. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that would be a good time. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of samurai in this show to get to.